Oh, hello, and welcome to another episode of TacoBytes, your Daily Bite of Degen, episode number 336, coming to you live from somewhere nowhere. 536, not 336, 536, 536. Oh man, we are going a little crazy here. That is right, 536. That means I've done this 536 times. You would think I would have this right by now. I don't. Consistently inconsistent, but daily. And we are coming today with the one and only live Walrus. GM, how are you, sir?
What's going on, community, man? I don't know if y'all know, this is one of my favorite people in the entire space. Man, it's such a blast. Anytime we get a chance to link up with my man Taco, man. So hopefully everyone's doing well.
Man, Walrus, you bring joy to my heart. I get to talk to you about the dumbest, funnest things, amazing family stuff, crazy stuff in the world, and just the fun things. Like, we have been sitting here talking for close to 5-6 hours, you know, and man, how are you doing, man?
Man, doing well. So, obviously, guys that know me, been a little more focused on the pulse chain stuff, so we're doing a lot in that ecosystem. LL launched about 60 days ago. We're doing a lot toward El Salvador.
For those that don't know, what is LL?
So LL it's a fork of Liquidity, so we're able to do zero interest loans.
What does LL stand for?
Liquid loans is a fork of Liquidity. We're able to do a lot of leveraging basically in the pulse chain ecosystem. So we're able to do zero interest loans. We're able to mint a admin key free, truly decentralized stablecoin that's USDL. In less than 70 days, there's over 31 million minted USDL. So obviously it's huge. We're at 9 figures of TVL, 110, 120, depending on price range. That's been massive. But, most importantly for my personal crypto credentials is I'm a friend of Taco's. So that's the most important.
My credential is I'm a friend of Walrus's.
Hey, no, it's a badge right here. I put it on there, right?
Okay.
A Pokemon badge, a Boy Scout badge, whatever it is. I got the Taco Friendship Award. That's where I'm at on there. Man, we do a lot in the space. So again, we're working through El Salvador. Taco knows everybody, so I'm basically just trying to go behind Taco and talk to people and onboard and do cool stuff in crypto.
The one of the greatest things is people are always like, oh, what are you building? And I was like, well, I'm doing this dinky, but what I get to do is I get to talk about what other people are doing. And so I get to talk to amazing people like you. Anyone who says they're not in this to make money, I don't know what they're doing really, but like they didn't get into this. They wanted to own their money. They wanted to have control. Maybe they didn't want to make money, but they wanted to stop losing money.
Yeah.
And so, but I get to talk with the people that are building all of this stuff, and you're one of those people. So thank you.
I mean, it's special, man. Like we're at a spot where not only is there just unbelievable wealth, dollars to be gained, but as you put it, most people just want to be left alone. They want to not be bothered. They want to not be censored. They want to be able to go do whatever it is they want to do, and that's what's pretty magical about crypto. It's not what I want to do. It's not what Taco wants to do. You get to go do what you want to do. It's not that my transactions aren't censored. It's that your transactions aren't censored. It's not that there's cheat fees. It's that your fees are cheap. It's that you get to engage with the stuff how you choose. You want to build stuff? Go build stuff. You want to be a commentator? Be a commentator. You want to not deal with any of this stuff and just be able to go make transactions? Go make transactions. You get to engage with these things as you choose. And that's what's special about crypto, and that's why people like me like to go build stuff.
My number one advice, whatever the heck you want to go do, just don't go be a dick. Don't be a dick. Go eat no, sorry. I'm not going to be a dick. Just don't be a dick.
No, there are extenuating circumstances. If you are a member of a 3-letter agency, you should go face first into a bowl of those dicks. But that's up to you to decide how you want to live your life. The rest of us are trying to be constructive.
Commissioner Hester Price is
Hester
amazing.
Hester
Hester Pierce is amazing.
Trade off for.
Oh, thank you so much. So yeah, Hester Pierce, she's pretty cool. We like you. We love you. You're one of the best parts of the SEC. Gary, I hope you've learned how to spell steak now. All right, so big shout out to Gary Ginsler. I hope that you've been able to learn how to spell the correct form of steak, so you are eating things, not sticking things inside other things.
Miss Pierce, you are a lady, a scholar, and a legend. You are the absolute pinnacle. The last dissenting opinion that you wrote on the gag orders was beautiful. We were 100% behind you. We don't count you in the SEC. You're a different caliber of woman. You're amazing. All the flowers.
All the flowers. Tulips. And so, not all three-letter agencies are bad. It's when bad actors.
Yeah, the NFL. I'm a big fan of the NFL. I like football. So they're a three-letter agency. I'm a fan of the NFL. Put me on record.
Okay. MLR.
There you go.
Major League Rugby.
Yep. Of course.
So yeah, that's
D&D. I like D&D.
good. We are losing our. We are live. We're live. Wait, can I get that bottle? Put it back here. I'm live streaming. This is our camera stand at Topo Chico, because you know I don't drink other than large quantities. So
Be serious, okay? Just because we have a 67-cent stand does not mean we're not important.
hey, yeah. We're actually going to be planning to have a better space, more professional.
Very soon.
Yeah. I would almost want to throw Walrus on the spot, but I know his life is as busy as mine, and so it will be soon. But what I really want to do is, as you guys know, I actually like to screen share and walk people through. I like to see what happens when things go not planned. I like to see errors in transactions. I like to see failed transactions, because I like to show what it looks like. Life is not like all great cartoons and advertisements and shiny. A lot of this stuff is rough. How has it been with Liquid Loans building out a UI and user experience?
So most of it's been like incredibly productive. So all the metrics that we would show people have been fantastic. TVL is huge, vault numbers are huge, amount of USDL is huge. But getting into the socks that hang off the end of your feet, the stuff that people stumble and stub their toe on, where that really comes from is either one, trying to do too much in the system overall. So it's not that you want to take a ball, it's not that you want to redeem, it's not that you want to go get extra exposure to stability pool. It's you're trying to do all of those things. So most people, if they just get overwhelmed. But I think that what's so interesting is that there's so many levels of understanding. You get people who get crypto who don't get economics, don't get TradFi. You get people who get TradFi, get economics, don't understand crypto. You get people who are on 50-50. You get people who are 20-20, 30-30, 50-50, all the way up these things, where you're trying to find people and trying to communicate with them on a level that makes sense. And that's where people bump their toes and pick their hands and everything like that.
Yeah. We have a question from the crowd.
Crowdsource.
Crowd question.
Liquid Loans, I think, had a testnet before it went live. Can you still use that testnet to test out things on Liquid Loans?
So we did have a testnet live. We do have a testnet live. I would say that you could use it, but none of you ever did. No matter how many times I told you to go use the damn thing.
I did.
Taco.
But if you wanted to,
So what the crowd member is asking is pulse chain on V3. There was a V4 before it went live. On V3, Liquid Loans has an active test net. How is someone able to get to that?
So it's really simple. You can basically go through, adjust your RPCs. That stuff is preloaded. You can do chainlist.org and go through and grab the testnet. Where the testnet is really valuable, if people have used anything similar in TradFi, there's all types of simulations or Forex where you can say, hey, give me $1 million, give me $100,000, treat it like it's real inside of this portfolio, but it's not real money. And that's the biggest thing about testnets. So there's always the the actual execution. Most errors come from people with sweaty palms out here clicking buttons, and the very first time they touch anything, it's live fire, it's live ammo, and they're trying to move around money, and they're nervous, they're concerned, they're tracking this, they're tracking that, and it's really difficult. Things become much simpler if you've clicked these buttons before. What's a borrow? What's a repay? What's a redemption? What's USDL? What's stability pool? It's so much easier. So we have a mountain of information. We actually even took a GTP model, and we actually have a AI assistant called the LL librarian. You can literally go and ask the AI, who's Walrus? Who's Taco? What's the stability pool? What's collateral ratio? What's USDL? You can literally go ask it. We built an AI assistant to even help with these things on top of all the blog content, all the videos of my bald head helping out. All the things.
If I ask it what the meaning of life is, will it answer me?
It'll answer you. It's just a question of whether or not you agree with the answer.
42.
That's what we told it.
Okay.
42. So all those things exist. It's like most things, it's very simple to understand and it's very difficult to master. But most of these things are relatively digestible for the average user. If you kind of understand the basic ideas of leverage, the basic ideas of collateral, you can use this, and there are not gains, there's unreasonable gains. There's six figures on, there's triple digit APRs on stablecoins. That doesn't exist in TradFi. There's zero interest loan. That doesn't exist in TradFi unless you're BlackRock, unless you're an institution. So these tools are not only really powerful for number go up, they're not just powerful for green candles. They're also giving us a different reality, a different set of physics to exist in crypto, where Bitcoin was sound money. Cool, we got that, we understand. Dollars have issues and inflates. Bitcoin doesn't inflate, we get that. What about everything else? There's a giant financial system, we agree. And this is where I would buck the trend and kind of butt heads with a lot of Bitcoiners. Sound money's awesome. I don't disagree with their dissertation. I disagree that they were done. There's so much more to build, and that's what DeFi is. So they can call it shit coins, they can call it altcoins, they can call it whatever they want. They just can't call us for a loan because they can't do that on Bitcoin, but we can do it on our networks, right? That's why smart contracts are smart. These things are really, really important.
So one of the things that some people, as we talked about earlier, you said what, $31 million in TVL?
31 in less than 3 months. We're at about day 62, 63.
Congratulations. So what I've heard, and I've had to correct people on, is they're like, it's not real dollars. And I'm like, well, because there's not a native USDC on it, it doesn't mean that there's not a conical, meaning conical bridge version of USDC. And so there's multiple bridges, like from Wormhole, Axelar, and a few other protocols that provide full bridging staked assets over. So real dollars are backing that up, and people are bridging it in all the time and bridging out. And so this is one of the things I've liked about Pulse-Chain. What I point out to it is, and everyone says the term airdrop. I hate that term. There was no airdrop in Pulse-Chain. It was literally a fork. And so it was not a copy and paste. It was a copy, make sure everything is on that we want on, make sure everything that's off is off, make sure it's safe, make sure it's synced, and on. And that was May 13th, 2023. Yep. So how was May 13th for you?
So yeah, May 13th is the absolute fork in the road, right? That's one time. Sometimes we understand the lexicon. We discussed this earlier, right? Like the lexicon is critically difficult. It's not a fork. It's a fork. Literally, where the same system state went in two different directions. ETH went its direction, Pulse-Chain went its direction. So yeah, I mean, the same arguments that say that USDL isn't real dollars would be the same arguments you would say that dollars aren't real dollars. Like, what's backing it? There you go. Now we get into some really trepidatious waters.
So that's the thing. And this is where I think that argument takes away from the value of the dollar that our economy, unfortunately, still runs on, but it has ran on. And it is the same value that is put behind USDL. Is there's a promise of redemption.
Correct.
And so I think it doesn't not necessarily matter what the redemption is. It's just the promise that someone can redeem it for something. And I think that that's where the faith of blockchain sort of comes into effect. And at the same time says that, hey, yes, we built an economy around the US dollar. We can do better. But it doesn't mean that this was wrong. It's just we can do better. And I think liquid loans is a step in that direction of showing people, like, I'll be honest, liquid loans, there are some parts of the protocol that are for everyday people,
Sure.
in my opinion. There's parts of it where, yeah, if you want to go fuck around and find out, you can go FAFO.
Yep.
But you don't have to put anything at risk to still have a return.
Correct. So I would say that, again, touching on like USDL versus traditional dollars is USDL is closer to what dollar used to mean and what dollars originated it than what dollars are right now. So dollars were a measuring stick. This was a denomination worth of another commodity. This was a dollar's worth of gold. This was a dollar's worth of silver. That's what silver certificates, that's what gold certificates were. USDL is the same thing. It's not a dollar. It's a dollar's worth of pulse. It is the most liquid, the most widely accepted collateral on the chain. And that's what we use to collateralize and then become the measuring stick.
And it doesn't matter what the price of pulse is.
Correct.
It's still $1 worth of pulse.
A dollar's worth of pulse. If that is 50 pulse, if that is 5 pulse, if that is 5 million, if it's 50,000, it doesn't matter to USDL. And again, that promise of redemption, right? So it is a measuring stick. We use the dollar as a measuring stick. And again, this can be a little difficult for people who haven't spent that much time in economics or haven't really dug that deep into a lot of these things, but that's what it is. The dollar's a measuring stick. It's not really treated as the way we see currencies now. We don't realize that the currency is a commodity. The currency used to be a measuring stick on commodities, and that's what USDL is a return to. So now we are able to do all these sort of old school principles of collateralization, but with the new school efficiencies of being able to do this with 0% loans, without credit scores, without having to KYC, without having to AML. We're basically able to build tools that everyone can use. And then, as you said, some of these tools are more handy, more, blunted on one side versus being double-edged. And then certain things are more tricky, right? But the magic is that the tool set is the spread and the same for everyone. I have the same access to LL as a team member, as someone who's been very around it, as Taco, as you, as the people next door, as people I've never met. Everybody has the same rule book, the same access. We all use the tools the same way. That's the governing principles here.
So this is a quick bite, and we're gonna wrap this up rather quickly, because we got to plan out something big. But first off, I want you to think of two situations. I'm gonna give you these. They cannot be the same situation, and neither one can be the day that LL launched and went live. So, two situations. The first situation, what has been the most scariest moment of LL so far in the last 70 days?
As a user, from the user side, or for me personally?
That's a very open question. Answer it in either way.
So I think for me personally is I was scared that we wouldn't have the participation that we expect. In crypto, a lot of times we talk about it. We talk a big game. We talk a narrative that is not always necessarily true when we speak it, right? Like we've said DeFi, we've said Bitcoin's digital gold, we said they're hedge against inflation. That shit was not always true when we said it. Some of those things have become true since then, but they were not true when we said it. So, at Liquid Loans and as a part of Pulse Chain, guys, we talked a big game. We really did. We we were very, hey, we're going to be big. We're going to be loud. We're going to have a ton of menu. We're going to have a bunch of people participation. And I was genuinely overcome with how much participation we had. But that was not a given. That was not expected. So
were there any scary moments after the day that LL launched? In the last 70 days, have there been any scary days?
Yeah, we had an error with the Oracle on January 2nd where we had a pricing issue that by normal standards and by an API call, no one would really think was that big an issue. But because of redemptions, because of how truly decentralized the system is, man, it was tough, man. We've got it addressed since then, and we've tightened up a lot of metrics. But man, when you're the ones holding the keys to the kingdom, trying to make sure that all these things will function well, that they can be handled in DeFi, that everyone can make those own decisions for themselves. When we were addressing some of those pricing concerns, man, that was scary. It's not a fun couple of days trying to work through that. We were able to get it obviously addressed. It's very tight since then. Everything's been remediated. But that was a really, really scary moment getting there and realizing at a high level like what that real cost of decentralization is, man. It's a lot simpler when you can just, hey, hit up Chainlink. Chainlink don't answer the phone on Pulse Chain, man. That's a very difficult call to make.
Okay. All right. So that was the scariest day in LL since the day it launched. So next question is, not counting the day LL launched, what has been the best day in the last 70 days for LL? What was the most exciting day or moment?
It was day 42. Literally day 42.
Day 42.
Day 42.
Didn't I say that was the answer to the universe and everything?
It is. Yep. It's the answer. It's the answer to this question here too. Day 42. Liquidity. I'm a big fan of their team. Robert, Lauka, Michael, all the guys over there in Switzerland. They're fantastic. They're smart guys. I'm sitting on the shoulders of giants. But they had 3 years. They're really smart guys. We surpassed them in the number of vaults, the number of participants, the number of DeFi users. Not green candles, not TVL, not all these things manipulated. How many people wanted to come use the protocol as designed? It took us 42 days and we covered them. 42 days, we had more users. 42. You hear me?
42.
Not 43.
42.
Not 44.
That was a mic drop.
So to be able to pass again, like those guys are talented, man. Like they're super savvy guys. They're elite coders. They're very savvy economists. They're great guys. I personally truly enjoy those guys. They have no, we should be close.
Yeah, thank you.
They are top tier DeFi guys. And to be able to see what this community's done, what the amount of marketing, the education, all the times hanging out with guys like Taco, showing up at events, doing cool stuff. Taco's onboarded people. All of those things added up to where we were able to surpass a team that I have an immense amount of respect from. An immense amount of respect. But we cleared them in 42 days. It's not about saying how bad they are. It's about saying how great they are and the fact that this community, this team, and this group of people surpassed that in less than 43 days. That was the biggest day for us.
Awesome. I like that. All right. So as we wrap up this quick bite, we do have a planned space that we are going to make for liquid loans and walk it through from both a new user perspective, first eyes on, heck, we might even read your white paper. Like I'm gonna get like a top hat and like a monocle and like a big old chair and like American history readings in the pages of the 1947.
We'll put you on the cover of the New York Post again.
We'll be on the. We'll do that. Yeah. Yeah, but I hope you guys all tune in for that. We'll have that out later on, and who knows, this week, next week, maybe the week after. Sometime, consistently inconsistent, but daily. But as we end this show the same way we've ended it 536 times, 535 times we've ended it this way. with final thoughts and words of wisdom and the best, worst knock knock joke on the face of the planet. So, yeah, I'm setting this one up. Ooh. Final thoughts, words of wisdom, 30 seconds. Let's go.
People just they overestimate what they can do in a day. They underestimate what they can do in a year, and it just all comes down to like people have way inflated egos in the short term, and they way underestimate what they can do in the medium to long term. So, what I'm trying to tell you is, you probably ain't shit, but you could probably be shit in a really short amount of time. If you actually care. If you really wanted to be great, it would happen really quick. So all the I am, all that stuff, it's overplayed. What you were yesterday, what you are today, what you'll be tomorrow, you're way overrated. I promise you're not that great. But I also promise that in a much shorter time than anyone thinks, you could be great if you really want it. If you want it, just go get it. No one's going to stop you. No one cares that you're great. No one cares. I promise you. Everybody always looks around the gym. Who's staring at you? Nobody. You want to stare around the world? You want to sit around the world and wonder who cares that you're great? No, nobody. Nope.
He says he doesn't,
Nope.
but he does.
Nope. No one will come stop you from being great. If you want to be great, just go knock that stuff out, man. It's there.
Knock it out. Thanks. So, my final thoughts are the same. Has been the same for 535 episodes so far. But a closed mouth cannot be fed. You cannot feed a closed mouth. Meaning, if no one knows you're looking for opportunity can never come a knocking. If opportunity does come a knocking and no one answers, it's going to keep on walking. And Walrus, we want to thank you so much for this. And this is. Are you ready for the best, worst knock knock joke on the face of the planet? Yes. Okay. So this is how we've ended the same joke 535 times. It's in honor of those that come before us and a remembrance of those that come behind us. And so, knock, knock.
Who's there?